Hi everyone, welcome to Mrs. Shin's class. Okay, so let's have a go at doing the first one, the easy one. Alright, so here are my solutions. Okay, so let's go over it together. So, find out the radius when the area of the circle is this one, so we're going backwards. So look at the solution. How do we find out the area? It's radius times pi, right? But we do not know what the radius is, so I'm going to make it into square. So square times pi is 350. Okay, then I can say if I have two squares multiplied together, I can put it in squared, squared, okay, times pi equal 350. And remember, I'm going to send the multiplication to the other side. How do I do that? I can simply go divide it. So this is 350 divided by pi. Then I'll get 111.4. Right, how do I get rid of the squared at the top? I can simply get rid of it, and on the right hand side I'm going to bring the square root. Okay, so just put square root, the answer, and you will get the solution. Okay, actually this is 11.4 la-di-da-di-da, ongoing decimal. Please don't round it, just press answer in the calculator and you get the full answer. Okay, so that's gonna be radius. And if the question was asking diameter, you simply add this twice or multiply by 2. So you can get the diameter. Okay, but the question just asked for the radius. So there you go, that's my first solution. Right, let's have a look at this. They said, oh, it's a triangle, has the area of this one. Right. How do I calculate the area of the triangle? It's base times, the perpendicular height. It's not 15, which is the slant height, okay? So base times height divided by 2 should be this one. So there you go. I wrote down the equation. Base times height, which we do not know, divided by 2 is this one. Okay, now I'm going to send one by one. I'm going to go send divided by 2 the other side. It's going to change into multiplication. 43 times squared is equal to, multiply by 2, which is 350. Okay, and I have to isolate the square that we're trying to find out. So what do we have to do? We need to send 43 to the other side. It's multiplication, so we're going to change it into, yes, that's right, division. So 350 divided by 43, that should be my answer. Okay. Right, last question. What is the shape? It's parallelogram. Parallelogram is base times slant height. No, it's base times the perpendicular height. That's exactly the same thing as rectangle or square, right? We proved it by using and cutting up the colored paper. Remember that in class? Okay, so let's have a go. Base times height is 15.3. Okay, right, I need to isolate the missing one that I'm trying to find out, so I'm gonna send it away. Multiplication, gonna change it into division. Good, so opposite sign. And there you go, just do that in the calculator. You'll get my base width length. Okay, 3.06 meters. Please remember to write all the units. But you don't need to write units while you're doing the calculation. Only in the final answer, just write the units. Okay, so there you go. This was my answer for going backwards. Easy one. Okay, let's move on to moderate. It's a little bit more challenging. What is this shape? It's trapezium. Okay, how did we find out the area for trapezium? Yeah, I'm adding the top one plus the bottom length divided by 2 and then times by the perpendicular height. So there you go, A plus B divided by 2 times height. A and B is obviously the parallel to length, which is square plus 17 in this case, divided by 2 times 10. Okay, then here, some people make mistake by sending 2 first instead of 10 first, okay? So if you have square in this one, it's a big bubble. You cannot pop it until everything else is gone next to it, okay? But I still have 10 next to it, so I need to pop it and put it onto the other side, send it to the other side first. So here's my equation. I'm going to send it by dividing it by 10, and it's going to be 11, right? So okay, then 10's gone. It's 11. Now, that fraction actually means division, right? Like 4 over 2, that means 4 divided by 2, correct? So it's the same thing. So there you go. Divided by 2, I need to pop it and send it to the other side. How does it change? Yep, 11 times 2. Okay, always go after whatever the number was on the right hand side first. So 11 times 2, so there you go, it's 22. And lastly, so therefore it's something plus 17 is equal to 22. So therefore what is it? Yep, the top length has to be 5 centimeters. All right, now we're going on to volume. Right, it is saying that the volume of cuboid is 343 cubic centimeter. You see that the unit is now in power of 3 when the area was power of 2. Now it's power of 3. It means it's volume. What is the length of a side? So length of the side has to be equal everywhere. Okay, no matter which side you're looking at, because it's a cuboid. It's made out of a 6-sided face with squares. Okay, so basically, how do you find out the volume for the cuboid? Okay, so base area times the height. So x times x times x, or square times square times square. There you go, volume, x times x times x, base times width times length times depth. Okay, so there you go, and that's equal to 343. And since I have 3 squares, I can say square to the power of 3 is equal to that. Now remember, right, what happened here? If it was squared, in order to get rid of square, it was square root, right? Actually, 2 is actually hidden there. That's why it's called square root. But we normally just write the root sign. Okay, and here, how do you get rid of this? By putting square root this time, but it's a cubic root. You need to write 3, little 3 in there. So in the calculator, you'll see this button where you found the square root function at the top. Okay, so please find this button and press it, and in bracket write 343, then you'll get the answer 7, which means if you multiply 7 times 3 times, so 7 times 7 times 7, you'll get 343. So the side of the cuboid should be 7 centimeters. Right. Okay, last question on the moderate page, right? The volume of the triangular prism. So the base is what shape? Right, triangle. So in order to find out the prism, the volume of the prism, what is it? You have to find out the base area, which is the base triangle, okay? Times it by the depth. In here, it's asking what this is, which is the perpendicular height for the triangle. So there you go. Have a look at my solution. Volume is area of the triangle, which is the base shape, times the depth. Right, how do I find the area of the triangle? Base times the height divided by 2, right? So 7 times unknown height divided by 2. Okay, that's the area of the triangle, times it by the depth 6 is equal to 252. Okay, remember, that's inside the bracket, so it's a big bubble. You need to send the other ones first. So I'm sending 6 by dividing it. Okay, then it's going to be 42. What's next? I'm going to send division divided by 2. Send it this over to the other side. So 42 times 2 over here like this. And 7 times whatever should be 84. Last one, I need to isolate the square, so by sending multiply by 7 to the other side, but then it's going to be division. Okay, so if you do that on the calculator, it's going to be 12. So, what's 12? The height of the base triangle should be 12. Okay, do we get this? Right? So this is quite important. This is very important. So have a go again and again and again. If you don't get it, listen to my video over and over again as well. And if you're still confused, email me, right? And also you need to learn a bit more algebra. So look up on the YouTube. There should be many videos telling you how to do algebra step by step. Okay, now finally we're on to challenge questions. So here's a tip. 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeter. 1 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 1 milliliter. Okay, so here's a water tank. The radius of the water tank is 1 meter. Okay, so 1 meter is 2 meter diameter and 2 meter height, the depth. And there's a tap, dripping tap. So you're trying to fill up the buckets, which is 43 centimeters width and the height of 30. Okay, what is the question? How many times can the big bucket be filled, fully filled? Okay, and how many milliliters or liters would remain? Right, what do you think I need to do first? I need to calculate the water tank first, the volume of the water tank, the volume of the bucket, okay, and see how many times it fits in there. Right, so let's have a go. Water tank. Ooh, what did I say? I converted into centimeters, okay, because the unit is in meters and this is in centimeters, so I converted 1 meter into 100 centimeter. Converted 2 meters into 200 centimeters. So the radius is 100, the height is 200 centimeters. So like this, the volume, the area of the circle, it's radius times pi, 100 pi, times the depth of the cylinder, which is 200 centimeters. And there you go. I wrote down in cubic centimeters. Now I need to find the volume for the bucket. Okay, it's 43 diameter, but in order to find out the area of the circle, it needs to be radius. So 43 divided by 2 is 21.5. So radius times pi, and the height of the bucket was 30. So there you go. That's my volume for my bucket. So what would be the easiest way to know how many times the bucket fits in the water tank? Yep, simply. There you go. I'm going to divide the bucket by the water tank. So water tank divided by the volume of bucket. and it's giving me 144.22. Okay, that means I can fill my bucket 144 times fully. Okay, so the bucket will be filled 144 times fully, and the fifth 145th bucket, the last bucket, it won't be fully filled to the top. Okay, so I'll say it's gonna remain this much. It was in cubic centimeter, but remember, here was my tip. Cubic centimeter is equivalent to milliliters, so I can simply just change cubic centimeter into milliliters like that and say this much is left. How did I find out this value? Okay, so I want to know how much it has been filled. So for this much, the volume of the bucket times 144, then I'll get a value that's close to this value, right? So just minus it from there, then you'll get that. Okay, there you go. I wrote down the working. Sorry, I did not have calculator right in front of me, so I could not show you the exact value. But as you can see, you're trying to find the leftover by filling 144 times with the bucket. So you times 144 times of the bucket size, the volume of the bucket, okay, and subtract that number from the volume of the water tank. Then you'll have the remainder after doing so, which is 681 milliliters. Okay, since it's water, we'll go by milliliters. Okay, so that was the solution for the challenge, the very last one. Okay, I hope the video helped. Please feel free to email me anytime if you need help. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.